It's showtime, folks.
Is the 99 Psycho is on your Voodoo, or is that somewhere else? Okay. I know I watched it.
Yeah, it is.
But I had to.
No, it's not bad. It's kind of like there's a country star that just recorded a cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car.
You get a fast car.
Oh, wow.
But it's like note for note, beat for beat, the exact same song, just with a male vocal instead of a female vocal.
You get a fast car. You get a fast car.
But even like Tracy Chapman has kind of a lower timbre than, a typical female. She's definitely in the lower range of an alto. So,
right.
Okay, why did you do this song? I get that you liked it, but there's kind of like no point in, if you aren't going to do something different, there's no point. It's not that it's good or bad, it's just kind of pointless.
Right.
And that's what the Psycho is. It's not good or bad, it's just pointless.
Yeah, I guess that was my issue, because I guess at one point I didn't like films being remade and done differently, but after seeing that, I'm not always a big fan, but I can at least respect that they're trying something artistic.
Yeah,
they're trying to have a new idea.
Well, I think in certain regards, I think that was Gus Van Sant commenting on remakes, because it's there's some movies that don't need to be remade at all, and like Psycho is definitely one.
No,
that does not need to be touched. Like, there's a lot of movies that I think are fine to remake, but there's some that are
right. Like,
don't remake Citizen Kane, right? Like,
no.
Why would you ever do that? Like, there's certain ones like that. So, I think that's kind of the point that Gus Van Sant was making. And he was just idiot producers and idiot Hollywood executives. He was just,
they saw gold.
They had no idea what was going on. So
my biggest issue though will always be Vince Vaughn should not have been in that movie. If he's just too big, I can't see him getting taken down.
Yeah. In
the same way as the I forget who played originally.
Right, that should have been like an Edward Norton. I mean, he had just kind of come off of Primal Fear with Richard Gere.
Okay.
Where he plays Edward Norton plays like a molested choir boy or something like that, altar boy. Or you don't really know if he's molested or not, and he claims to have like not bipolar. He claims to be schizophrenic, have dual personalities.
Okay.
And you're never quite sure throughout the entire movie if the character is faking it or not. That's kind of the point.
Huh.
And I think Richard Gere, I think, is his defense attorney. And so, yeah, that's on my Voodoo too. That's a really, really strong movie. Really strong performance from Edward Norton.
I'll have to check it out.
But I'm sure he didn't want to do Psycho right after that, but I think he.
No.
I think if you're going to remake it, I think Edward Norton is probably would have been a good one.
There's always the possibility of doing like a prequel or a sequel.
There are multiple sequels.
Yeah, they did. And then they did Bates Motel. Yeah, they did that too.
April watched it. I never did. But
I haven't watched it. I want to. It looks interesting. But there's all of that. You can expand the universe.
Yep.
Just don't recreate the universe.
Or don't expand the universe.
Or don't.
Just leave it.
You don't have to expand the universe.
It's a good story the way it was. It's fine. Sometimes digging into that story shows way too many flaws.
That's the
like there are some stories that 2 hours is perfect amount of time for them. They don't need to exist any longer than that.
Then you get 3 more series and 2 sequels. It's like, oh, there was a whole lot of holes in this.
Yeah.
We didn't think that through at all.
Yeah. It's like, I hope you don't ever watch that Nurse Ratched series. So, here we are. That's how we'll start it. Okay.
Here we are.
Here we are. We are Hydro Man Ran. I'm Kevin.
I'm Andrew.
And today we are going to be talking about the movie The Hunt. Not The Hunt, and not The Hunt, and not The Hunt, and not all these other versions of The Hunt that I'll post here. There's so many versions of The Hunt. We are talking about the 2012 Mads Mikkelsen version of The Hunt, the Danish version that was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film. So we will get to that in a second, I'm sure. But first, we want to make sure that you're aware that we do still have a TeePublic shop up. So if you want to buy a pillow with my beautiful face on it, or a t-shirt with Andrew's blinds behind it, or we have a t-shirt up of the blue-haired lady from In the Mouth of Madness, who's on the bus next to Sam Neill. We also have if you want to be the only person in the world with a t-shirt from Babette's Feast, we have a Babette's Feast t-shirt up there. So yeah, y'all check that out if any of that interests you. I can't control the prices, or I'd make everything as cheap as possible. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, but that is what it is. So go check that out. And I think, I can't remember where we're at in terms of viewers, but I think if we get like 8 more viewers, I think we'll be doing our Hydra Man Rand Goes to Space.
Have we passed 40?
We've passed 40. We're at like 42.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
It's getting scary.
So yeah, share our channel if you're interested in seeing us do a bunch of movies that went to space and officially jumped the shark in their franchises.
It's mostly horror, right?
Mostly. I think we're doing one James Bond film, and I'm trying to think if there's something else that we had talked about doing.
Maybe we could work in like a part where we just briefly talk about like 3 or 4 shows that had a space episode, like Simpsons or Family or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, we can talk about the inanimate carbon rod episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yes, no, so that's a great episode. Yes, we can definitely talk about that one. Yeah. So we'll figure out a few in there that we'll do, and so if that interests you, I think that interests people because our Sandler Spectacular is one of our highest viewed episodes, 2-parter episodes. So
I think Sonny was just trying to make sure they couldn't sue us.
Probably. Yeah. So I think that's all the business out of the way. Nobody sends us emails. You can email us if you want to. You don't have to. We don't care. I don't even check the email because nobody emails us.
Maybe they are emailing us.
They shouldn't. I should get an alert on my phone if they email us.
Oh, never mind.
We both got Instagram. We both got Letterboxd. They're all on our About pages. Go find us. We're out there somewhere if you want to.
I think my Instagram's mostly cats.
Yeah, yours is. Mine's mostly, I just, when somebody I like dies, I post on there. That's all.
Every single time.
Every single time.
A lot of posts. My phone's blowing up. So
we're going to talk about The Hunt today, the 2012, like I said, Danish film, starring Mads Mikkelsen. I pulled it up because it's not somebody I recognize. Thomas Vinterberg is the director. He also co-wrote it with Tobias Lindholm. So not necessarily household names. I do know that Thomas Vinterberg and Mads Mikkelsen later went on to do another movie called Another Round.
That's another really...
I haven't watched that. That's been like on my list of like movies I wanted to watch. I haven't gotten to that yet. But
it's got kind of like the same level of prestige as far as films go for him.
Well, Thomas Vinterberg's movie he did apparently before this was also nominated at Best Foreign Picture.
Which one was that?
Let me see if I can find it. Is it The Celebration? Maybe.
Okay, let's check that out. I think The Hunt. Did The Hunt win, or was it at least nominated for the? I'm gonna butcher the name. The Palme d'Or.
It was nominated for a Palme d'Or. But the big win at Cannes for this film was Mads Mikkelsen won Best Actor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which I think he deserved. Which I really think this movie. this movie didn't even put him on the map because I mean it was like 5 or 6 years after Casino Royale.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I would call it under the radar in the sense that the general public would have no idea about it.
Oh, definitely. And I think he's still in, even in American cinema, he's still relegated to villainous roles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he doesn't get to play the good guy or the hero.
No, yeah, no one.
The villain in the first Doctor Strange, villain in James Bond, villain in the shitty Harry Potter movie prequels.
Yep.
He took over for Scarf Man. What's his name?
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amber. She's back.
I mean, I don't think that I watched that movie. Mads couldn't even save that movie. Those were.
I've seen the one with Johnny Depp.
Oh, I've seen both of them, and I will say I think I've only seen 2/3 of each of them because in the middle third of both of them I fell asleep. Right. And all of a sudden I just woke up to like people doing that with wands and like things blowing up, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't care.
That's Harry Potter.
This is nauseating.
There's story and there's wands.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got through the Harry Potter films either. Those just weren't for me. I think I'd like crossed a little bit of an age barrier, and I just couldn't go back and get into them.
I can understand that. They're not for everybody. Mm. I enjoyed them for what they were. They're not the kind of movies I could just watch. Like, I could binge watch Lord of the Rings in a day.
Oh yeah. I
couldn't do it with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But the fans could.
Yeah.
And that's why that franchise is booming.
I'm trying to think what else. Mads Mikkelsen was the villain in Hannibal. Yeah. The best television series of all time.
Such a good Hannibal.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Hannibal might be what he's most best known for over here.
Probably.
That or Casino
Royale. Yeah.
He did really good in Casino Royale.
Let me see. Let's look at his page.
Him and Daniel Craig actually had really good chemistry together.
Yeah, because the other stuff I'm seeing on here, I barely remembered. I didn't even remember that he was in Rogue One. He's in Rogue One.
He was the
dad.
The dad.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. He was the bad guy in the last Indiana Jones movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and all the other movies that, like, the movies of his that I love, like, nobody here is going to see.
Has he been in Marvel yet?
Yeah, he's in Doctor Strange. He's the
bad
guy in the first one.
You just said that. You just said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like, Riders of Justice and Valhalla Rising are two of his other big movies, and Pusher, and nobody in America is watching those. So Pusher. It's the Nicholas Winding Refn's first. He did like a trilogy of films.
Okay, I understand that.
They're free on Vudu. I have them. I have like the watch. I have like in the watch list on the free section. I have the free section.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the name goes, the only other hunt I know of is the one, and it's basically about liberals hunting conservatives.
Yeah, I mean that's like.
There's like a big outrage about that whenever that happened.
There was a big outrage over the trailer because people don't wait to actually watch a movie and see what it's actually talking about.
Right.
And they just make a big deal about it.
I'm guessing it wasn't just liberals hunting conservatives.
It
was. Or there was more meaning there, I guess.
There was a lot more meaning. It was about being so insulated in your political ideology that you see the other side of your political party as an enemy. Okay. Or the other side of the political extreme as your enemy. So
basically what's going on right friggin' now.
It was that's exactly what it was claiming to be about. I mean, it was talking about what was happening in the moment politically, where anybody who doesn't agree with me is a Nazi, or anybody who doesn't agree with me is a communist that wants to murder everybody and burn down all the major cities and fire all the police. You know, I mean, those are you're either a Nazi or you're a communist that wants to defund the police. Those are the only two ideas, and take away our guns.
I mean, do we need other ideas? You've got all the big topics covered there.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
But yeah, I didn't expect to hear anything about this from you until today when I got your text a couple days ago.
That was last night.
Was it last night?
Yeah, I just
That's
watched
right.
it yesterday.
It was last night. That's right.
I watched it last night. I rewatched about the first quarter of it again this morning.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much all I was able to get through before we went antiquing today. But yeah, I wanted to. There were a few things that I thought I remembered at the beginning of the film, and I wanted to watch them and just make sure I remembered things correctly.
I was glad that I made sure to watch it again, because it's not an easy movie to watch.
No,
it's a tough movie.
Yeah, because it's it'll make you mad, but
you get angry, but it's hard to know who you're angry at, because
yeah, exactly.
It's not a spoiler. He didn't do anything.
Right.
But you can't really be mad at people going after him, besides what they do later on when they leave outside his door.
Yeah.
I'll be mad about that. But them just kind of saying, hey, don't stay away, like kind of like pushing him out, like that's what you would do if you thought someone did that to your daughter. I thought he was pretty tame, actually. The dad, like, he didn't punch him.
I think he was still in denial, and I think that's why there's that final scene. Well, I think it's Christmas night, where, she's half asleep and talking to her dad,
right,
and he realizes that it was all a mistake and that it was all wrong.
She calls him Lucas, I think.
Yeah.
What did you think, though, about like the very end?
So I did read up on it, and I found that there were two endings. I'm glad they went with the ending they did.
What's the other ending?
The other ending is the fact it sounds like it was the son, the son of his best friend.
Yes.
That's who was standing up there, and he actually shoots him and leaves him for dead.
Gotcha.
That's the other ending. That's what I felt like was going to happen. As soon as they got to the hunting lodge, and the tension there was still palpable tension in the air.
They showed it with the son, because the son wasn't smiling.
Right.
Everyone else was enjoying themselves. He wasn't smiling. And when I saw the scene,
well, I feel like that entire scene was saying everyone else knows how to put up a mask,
right?
But this kid doesn't know how to put up a mask,
right?
Because there's definitely a reluctance, and what I liked about the ending that did happen, where when he heard the gunshot, he thought somebody was killing him. Is he understands that everyone there still kind of does think he's probably a pedophile.
Yeah.
They're not 100% certain, and they're, apparently it was a lot of the kids from his friends group were the ones that were saying things about him too. So I think it was the idea that he understands that, and he has to look behind his back for the rest of his life.
Right.
He is an outcast and a social pariah for the rest of his life, even with everything said and done, even with the cops saying, yeah, all the allegations are completely not valid.
Right.
And even the kids backtracking their stories, like he knows that Scarlet A is never really going to go away.
Yeah,
he's stuck with it.
It kind of goes where we get too caught up in our emotions, and we don't want to admit. It's almost like we don't want to admit that maybe we're wrong, and once we feel the fear of, oh, there's someone like this nearby, we don't want to we don't want to drop our guard and accept that maybe it is safe and maybe it's okay. We want to stay on guard.
Yeah.
Don't want to let him back in. Don't want to give him more trust, even though he never broke that trust. It kind of felt like he did, and now we're afraid to feel that again.
Right.
And scared too, because no one's gonna put their kid at risk.
Right.
And on some level, they shouldn't have to. But at the same time, it's completely ruining this guy's life, who is, again, completely innocent.
Yeah, and that's what you were talking about earlier. Like, you're mad at watching this, but you also, you and I don't have kids, I think we understand the parents' reactions. And I mean, even like, I guess the closest thing to an enemy is the woman that runs the kindergarten.
Yeah.
But even her, with what she's heard and how she doesn't know that the little girl heard all these terms
right
from her brothers joking about a porno.
Right. They're very specific terms.
Right. And so she doesn't know that that's where this little girl heard it from. So when she hears it, that's very specific and graphic language for a 5-6-year-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So she obviously, takes the measures that she thinks is necessary.
Which legally she has to, at least. Well,
yeah.
I know here she doesn't. I assume over there she would too.
I assume so.
Legally she has to, and really morally, if you're in charge of the children, you kind of have to be cautious.
Yeah.
You can't assume that she's lying.
Yeah.
You have to go ahead and protect, because if she's not lying, then a whole world of hell is coming.
Yeah.
So it's, and the way everyone reacts, because no one wants to be around someone like that.
No.
And again, and for totally good reason, but no one wants to be around that. And our natural urge is to want to hit them, want to jump them. Yeah. There was like this weird joy / cringe when he's in the grocery store and he gets beat up and thrown out, and then he comes back in and he just kind of drops the guy.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a weird moment, because on one I was like, yeah, you got it. And I was like, they're right to be mad. It's like, I don't know what to think here.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the closest thing to true antagonism that I saw in the film, because
well, I think the dog was the true antagonism.
Yeah, whoever did that, and I guess we'll never know. And that,
maybe the son. I
have a sneaking suspicion it was probably the son.
I feel like he's kind of the one, because he kind of feels like no one's protecting his sister.
Yeah, and you get that there's a really great scene where he's with his sister and they're putting out Christmas decorations. Mm-hmm. And, like, no words are spoken. It's just a beautiful scene where he realizes how innocent his sister is and how beautiful she is. And the fact that someone would do this to him. And that's what the character is thinking. Yeah. And he just starts to cry. Yeah. And then, like, she runs outside because it starts to snow, and he's like trying to protect her, and don't get too cold, and it was, you completely understand, like, killing the dog is wrong, but you understand that boy's rage, and he only has so many places, like, he can't kill Mads, like, he's a child, like, he doesn't have that capability,
right? And at the same time he's a young teenage boy dealing with hormones, dealing with everything that teenagers deal with, plus this kind of trauma probably just snapped something inside him.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Which I'm with you. I'm glad they didn't do the scene where he actually kills him, but certainly it's understandable him going to that level.
I do want to say this is one thing that bothers me about this movie, and it came up recently because I just recently rewatched Apocalypse Now. Nice. So it was a problem I had in that movie also. I have a problem with movies. I have a problem with art. Let's just put it that way. I have a problem with art that uses the death of anything living as part of it. Mm-hmm. That really bothers me, because as important as I believe art is, and as wonderful as I think art is, I don't think it's worth taking the life of anything. And in the credits...
You mean actually doing so?
Actually doing, because in the credits they say that the dog did not suffer. Mm-hmm. Which implies to me, and based on the looks of that dog, I think they actually put that dog to sleep.
That I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I didn't.
And that bothers me, because the same thing in Apocalypse Now. There's that scene towards the end where there's the ceremony and they kill the.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. I've seen the movie, but I remember reading about how they actually did that. I don't know about that with the dog. If that would be a big problem for me.
Yeah,
absolutely. That would
if they had a dog that was almost dead, or they had another dog that looked the same as that dog,
sure,
and it was dying, and they were able to get a fresh corpse of that dog. Okay, but if they just put it to sleep just for this movie,
that's not okay.
I do know that the deer was actually shot in the movie, but it was part of they were basically filming a hunter doing population control.
Who was okay? He was already hunted. That's
so.
It's gonna happen either way. You're getting the shot.
Yeah,
that's okay. As opposed to going and finding one for the purposes of a shot.
Yeah,
that's different.
Like in Apocalypse Now, was that ceremony already going to happen no matter what, and you just had 20 cameras around to capture it, and it was only done once? It was a ceremony those people were going to do anyways. Okay.
Right.
Okay, but I don't know if that's what happened, so that kind of bothers me. And I don't know what really happened with this dog. That kind of bothers me because I've never seen any piece of art worth any living thing's life.
No, yeah, I'm totally on board with that. That's different.
And that's why what is that? There's that Cannibal Holocaust, I think, is just a horrific and horrid movie.
Oh, yeah, that's essentially just gore porn.
I know there's a Dario Argento movie. Is it called Opera, maybe? I can't remember which one it is. There's a Dario Argento movie where basically they kill a cat in the movie. And I found that out, and I'm just not even gonna. I like Dario Argento his films, but I'm not going to watch that now because it's just not.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't want to support that. But
absolutely, there is a line.
Yeah, so that was one thing about this movie that bothered me a little bit after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really detracts from the film in the moment.
It's also possible that maybe there's a bit of a translation issue, and what they mean is when they say that the dog did not suffer, maybe that's their way of saying no animals were harmed.
Maybe, but they couldn't technically say that because of the deer shot. So
true. Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's the right saying the dog was not harmed.
Yeah. Maybe. I hope so. Because it was a cute dog.
It was.
Fanny.
Little Fanny.
Cute little Fanny. So
yeah, it's a heavy movie.
It's a very heavy movie. I think it's deftly handled. I love that. So I think there's a scene where Mads kicks the girlfriend out of the house.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a transition where it says early December or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you come back in and you just see the house in ruins. Mm-hmm. There's filth everywhere. There's laundry. There's dirty dishes. Nothing has been kept up. Mm-hmm. And the movie is telling you that this character is in a deep, horrible depression. Mm-hmm. And he cannot get out of it. And I think a lot of lesser movies probably would have made you see part of that progression. Mm-hmm. And not just trusted that you understand this guy's innocent. And of course, this is going to ruin his life.
Right.
Because he obviously loved these children.
Yeah, this was his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but it is because it is kind of a shock because it's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's filth. And
but you notice it gets clean again once his son shows back up.
Right. And I think that's a good way of showing that he has some light back in his life. Yeah. That's a really good touch. He's not. It really makes it feel more real because that actually is something that would happen. Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone who deals with depression deals with it differently. But having your son who you've been struggling with your ex-wife or a girlfriend or whatever she was.
No, it's his ex-wife.
Okay. Yeah. I can't remember. Having him back all of a sudden is going to bring joy. That's a very real thing, and once that spark comes back, he's going to want to do everything he does to make sure it's a good place for him and all that.
I like to shortly after the son shows up, how the movie shifts focus while Mad's in jail, mm-hmm. and focuses on the son. and the damage that all this is in the rage he feels.
Yeah.
Because he knows his dad is innocent also.
Right.
Just as much as the best friend and the woman and the woman at the school know that children don't lie. You know, he knows his dad is innocent.
Right.
Those lines piss me off.
Yeah, I never. It's like,
children don't lie. They lie all the time. What are you talking about?
You know how many lies I told?
Oh my gosh. And and a 4 or 5 year old, they don't understand like the gravity of, you know, they don't understand the difference of, hey, this person touched me inappropriately versus, yeah, I ate a cookie that I wasn't supposed to eat. Like, they don't understand the gravity. There's no way for a child to comprehend.
And even that was really well done, because you can't even be mad at the girl, because she didn't understand what her lie, like she knew she was lying, but she didn't understand the impact her lie had.
I don't think she understood that she was lying, though. Because she just...
True. Maybe she did.
Because remember what was happening. I think she was trying to make fun of Mads. She was trying to be mean about him.
Yeah.
Because the boys were laughing about when they were watching the porno and she saw that. They were laughing. And those are the same words that
all she heard was laughter. To her, laughter is laughter.
So I don't think she was even trying to imply anything or lying about anything. I think if anything, the lies came in later whenever I guess it was a psychologist comes to the kindergarten.
Yeah, I think that's what he was.
And he asked some really, really leading questions.
Oh, yeah.
Which
is probably part of the reason that the cops were like, yeah, we can't do anything with this.
Well, the cops said they couldn't do anything about it because all the kids said that they were molested in a basement.
Right.
And he didn't even have a basement.
There's no basement.
House. Yeah.
Yeah, they... Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but I guess you're right. That maybe to her, that is her way of just... Because she was mad because he did love her like she loves him and all that stuff. And her concept of love is obviously very small.
Right.
And she doesn't
understand. Well, she had an innocent little crush on him.
Yeah, no, it was all innocent. It was all innocent. And she got her feelings
very much... I think he very much appropriately handled it. And be like, you should give this heart to one of the boys in your class.
Right.
Like, he did what he should have done. But, yeah.
Really, the only thing I think that... I don't remember him saying to her that you don't... Because she... Well, he's on the ground playing with all the boys. They're, like, wrestling, doing whatever it is they do.
Yeah, she jumps
him and kisses him. He's like, oh, no, don't do that. I don't remember him explaining to her, hey, you don't do that to people like who aren't in your family. Or people like you don't do that with adults.
Yeah, I think it was the whole once he saw the heart, I think he was using the heart to explain the situation instead of and trying to just not even acknowledge the kiss she tried to kiss.
And maybe that's better. I don't know.
Because yeah, and maybe it is. That's how I would handle it because I wouldn't want to embarrass the child.
Right.
You don't want to tell them that their feelings are wrong or anything or inappropriate. Just maybe they need to be pointed in a different direction.
Right. You need to focus on someone in your age.
I completely understand what he did, and maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a child counselor out there who can tell us he did it wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. That's just one perspective.
Seemed like the right thing to me, but
he definitely didn't do anything wrong per se.
No.
Maybe he could have done this or he could have done that, but nothing he did was wrong.
No, I can't. I really can't imagine anything he did.
Which is really part of the whole tragedy of it is that he did nothing wrong, and his entire world was ruined.
Well, and the other real tragedy is you got the impression, because even his wife is giving him a hard time for being a kindergarten teacher because he was a high school teacher, and you get the impression that he actually is like really loves those kids. Yeah. And really has a lot of joy, and they're giving him life at a time, like especially after his wife left him, like they're filling his joy of being around them is filling a hole that he missed in his life, and it's kind of keeping his spirits uplifted. Right. So it's not even, I think like part of it is the accusation, but part of it is, I think his depression that we see fall into, maybe the fact that he doesn't even have that that joy and the unconditional love that the kids were showing to him, and he was able to give back to them at the kindergarten. He's missing that even.
Well, it may also be that was what was giving him life.
Oh, 100%.
Like even like take away all like the accusations and all that. Say he just simply loses that job, like he gets laid off. Maybe he goes down a similar route.
Yeah, he doesn't get beat up at the grocery store. But other than that,
it could happen.
It could still
different
happen.
reason. They don't take his coupon. Words are said. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah,
that's what happens in Denmark.
Yeah. That was a nice community, though. I'd live there.
It looked wonderful. I would totally live there. It looked really nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the song too. The song they were singing, like "Won't You Drink with Me."
Oh yeah.
I liked it because like when you're reading the lyrics, that just wouldn't really work if it was sung in English. It just wouldn't carry. But it just sounds wonderful and fun in their language.
Yeah. I keep on trying to figure out, and I think it's just the way the movie is trying to disarm you when it starts, but it starts with them doing the polar bear swim in November.
Jumping in like the cold water or whatever.
And when I rewatched it, I was trying to figure out, I think, and I might be wrong on this, so the one guy gets the cramp, right? The naked guy jumps in the water and he gets the cramp. Mad goes in there and pulls the guy out.
Right.
Pulls him back to the dog. And I think that was the butcher that he ended up getting in a fight with.
It might have been.
I think that was the butcher. And so like that dramatic of a shift.
This guy saved your life. Now you're fighting him or whatever. But again, it's like they have a certain...
Yeah.
They just can't abide by that. And that's one of the few things I know of that's pretty much accepted across cultures.
I don't know.
Most cultures. Maybe I'm sure there's something out there, but for the most part, you go to any like first world country for sure, and that's just off the table.
Yeah. But Fundy Mormons, maybe not.
What?
Fundamentalist Mormons. I think they're okay with that.
Are they? Really?
Yeah. Child brides. Oh yeah.
Oh right. Well, not like a 5 or 6 year old.
9 or 10, I think is okay.
Seriously?
First bleed.
What the hell? I hope you're wrong.
Sadly, I'm not.
Yeah. Good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why we don't allow it. But okay, so let's get back to this movie. So,
please,
it's a wonderful movie. Hard to watch.
It's one of my favorites, but I've only seen it a few times.
It's the directing and the editing are fantastic. Mm-hmm. The way that it has a documentary feel with the camera work. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you feel very voyeuristic.
You do.
Like you're looking in on this world and when you're seeing Mads Mikkelsen like fall apart, like you feel a little guilty watching and not being able to help him. Mm-hmm. But I also like too the editing in it and the way that there's a lot longer shot lengths at the beginning of the film. Mm-hmm. And then when like things start getting really hectic for him and he starts figuring out what's going on, like the shot length feels much, much shorter. Like I didn't actually like really study the film and like time anything, mm-hmm. but I did notice that in a couple places where they're really building tension by like shortening up the shot length, and at other points they're kind of letting the shots linger a bit. Like even like the shots where like they're sneaking the pie out of the kitchen. Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the film, like that, the shots there linger a little bit longer than they should, and especially for a scene that should be played a little bit comedically, you would typically allow the shots to be quicker paced in terms of the cuts,
right?
And here they're allowing things to linger a little bit more, and I don't know, I really like that. I think it built the tension. in a way, the language of the editing let you know when you were supposed to feel tense, and when things were panicky. Kind of gave you the emotions of the character that we're following. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was just a superb, excellent made film all around, except for maybe the dog.
Hopefully not the dog, but we'll see. But no, I'm in complete agreement. I love this movie. I was very excited for you to be able to see it. I was excited just to watch it again, even dreading knowing I had to watch it again because of how heavy it is.
I will say that everywhere you can watch this film, it comes with commercials.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Like
all
of a sudden, like her giving some explicit, examples to the headmistress of, and then all of a sudden it cuts to a commercial with NBC's new golf app, and I'm like, no, this is not.
I had those same commercials.
This is not working, man.
I had the one where they were talking about something similar, and all of a sudden it was like, "What are you doing?" Oh, trying to pay for my app again for my team's phone. Like, and then she said something like, "Oh, that's a home run." Like, go to hell.
Yeah, so that would be. I would recommend buying it or waiting for it to come to a service where you don't have to watch it with ads.
I noticed that there were two versions, and one of them's PG.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I wonder what the difference is because
It's a different cast listing too.
Really?
I watched the one that had. I think it may be a mislabeled poster.
Okay.
Because like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of movies called The Hunt.
I gotcha.
There's so many movies called The Hunt, and so I'm thinking it's one of those.
Gotcha.
Because like it seems like almost every country, every language has a film called The Hunt, and then it's just but it's in their language, and then it translates just to The Hunt in English.
You really should put the thumbnail for this as the movie about the left-wing people attacking her. You should put that as the thumbnail. So yeah, I see many people watch for like 30 seconds and then just turn it off.
We watch this woke nonsense so you don't have to.
Did you?
I did see it. It's a fine movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's.
I'll watch it at some point.
It's what it claimed to be. I mean, it's.
For some reason, whenever I think about it, I think about this movie that. I'm sure you'll know. I'm sure you'll see this other one. It's this guy invites a girl over to his family's house for dinner. They're like all like they're real rich, old money rich.
You're talking about
they have to hunt her down basically and kill her.
Ready or Not.
Yeah, that's it. So for some reason, whenever I think of The Hunt, I think of that movie instead.
I think Ready or Not is a little bit better.
I like Ready or Not.
I like Ready or Not. I like that. That's Samara Weaving? I think is the lead actress in that one.
I can't remember.
She's the niece of Hugo Weaving, Lord Elrond.
Wow.
Or Agent Smith, but yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
That was really good.
That was fun. Because was that the one where it was all because they had made a pact with Satan, and they all
or some generic version.
They all just blow up at the end.
Some demon from long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of these movies, it's like you could just say Satan if you're gonna say it, just say it.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Who was the demon from what's that movie? Dang it. The same director who did Midsummer. Hereditary. Who was the demon in that movie?
Paimon,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Paimon.
Just say Satan or say the devil. Just say that. But if you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of little demons, and I think this one has
Yeah, but no one knows who Paimon is.
But I think that's the point. That's just my wife sneezing.
It sounds like a dog. I thought it was like a little bark.
Don't you call my wife a dog.
The Hunt too.
I know my woods better than you.
Misty will protect me. She knows her dad.
You see how well I know them.
What is that, burn marking or is that poison ivy?
Poison ivy.
It's
healing.
Stay back.
You can't get it. It's all on me. It's all on me.
I think I'm immune to it.
Oh, okay.
Because we found out
I got a little bit of work left to be done.
we found out that the stuff in my backyard is because my neighbor mentioned something about it, and like a day or two prior, I was pulling a bunch of it up. I got to the point where I was doing my hair, and she was like, "Yeah, we can help you with all this poison ivy." And I was like, "What poison ivy?" She's like, "Oh, there." I was like, "Oh, didn't know that." I never had any kind of reaction.
Always remember this: leaves of 3, let it be. Leaves of 4, eat some more. That's what. That's.
I thought they had 5 leaves.
That's poison sumac. Is 5 leaves. Poison sumac.
Oh no, I was talking about pot.
Pots.
Isn't that what you meant by let it?
No, it was something from The Simpsons, I think.
Oh, okay.
Remember, leaves of 3, let it be.
Leaves of 4, eat some more.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like it's gonna make you eat some more.
No,
Okay.
no, because like cannabis is like 6 or 7, something like that. I
Look
don't
at me.
know.
I don't know. I have not been able to smoke for the majority of my life.
Why not? You got asthma?
I'm in the army. I'm a nurse. I have a lot of reasons I can't smoke.
You can smoke.
Once, but that's it. I'm out.
Stupid randoms.
Go talk to your senators. Also mine.
I will.
All right, good.
I have.
Do they listen?
No, because my representative in the United States is from Bob Jones. So no, they do not listen to me and my opinions about anything.
Who's your representative?
I don't know his name, but I know he's the guy from Greer that's in the White House. He's a graduate of Bob Jones.
In the White House?
Not in the White House, in the Senate.
Oh, okay.
Or Senate or the House of Representatives.
Gotcha.
Sorry. The upstate representative.
Well, I get Joe Wilson, so it's not much better for me.
Yeah. So, would Papa like this movie?
I want to say yes. I think he would.
I think he would also.
I don't think he'd watch it. I think he wouldn't appreciate the scene where they show whatever they were watching on the tablet.
Yeah.
But I think he wouldn't want me to see that for sure. I think he might understand that there's an actual purpose to it.
Right.
That it's showing like these teenage boys are like showing where the girl eventually gets the idea in her head.
Right.
But I think he'd like it.
Yeah, I don't think even with, there's a naked man jumping on the lake at the beginning, and there's that scene where the two boys are looking at pornography.
Well, the naked man thing was so innocent. There was nothing sexual about it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gratuitous. It doesn't feel lewd in any way throughout the movie. It doesn't feel like it's
guys being stupid and just outdoorsy dumb kind of thing.
Right, but I mean, like, nothing in the film feels like it's gratuitous in any way. Like, even the way the girl describes the event, and even the way everybody talks about everything afterwards, like there's no like gross details.
No, the majority of it is just kind of them hinting vaguely at like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think when Mads and his girlfriend sleep together, I don't think they really show anything.
Yeah, they do, but
do they?
I mean,
I can't remember.
You see him on top of her.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But like that's basically them just saying this is happening. Okay, bye.
Yeah. I mean,
for a movie, that's tame. For a movie, that's pretty tame.
Yeah, and I think part of that scene is also showing that he is obviously very attracted to adult.
That's true.
Women.
That's true.
I think to me that's what that point.
The movie did go out of its way to make it very clear. There is no like maybe it's real. No, they made it very clear.
Like there was a movie and it had Philip Seymour Hoffman and Meryl Streep in it. And what was it called? I'll put
Hunger Games.
No, I think they were both in that, weren't they?
I think I know he was. I think she was too.
No, it was called. What was it called? Devotion? Deception?
Along Came Polly.
Truth? Maybe it was called Truth. And it was based on a play, but Philip Seymour Hoffman is like the Monsignor of a nunnery and of a school. And there's hints and allegations that maybe he has sexually molested a child. And
they kind of leave it in the air.
Right, you're never really sure what's going on, and Meryl Streep is a dog with a bone. Like, to the point where you almost... You kind of don't want it to be true because she's so annoying about it. But at the same time, he's so smarmy and so he has so much power.
Right.
You also want him to get taken down. And it's a really interesting movie the way they play all that up.
I like when they do it both ways. I hate when they just make the detective really just easily hateable.
Right.
Because then if it's true, it's like, well, now I don't want it to be true. Now
right.
I want to cheer for the bad guy.
Yeah, and they don't start off that way. Like, she grows to be annoying throughout the film. Like,
really?
She grows, and it's kind of interesting. Like, as she's constantly silenced. I think it's Truth. I think is the name of the movie.
It kind of shows her like
growing
to hate him because she's imagining it's true.
I mean, obviously you have two of the greatest actors ever. Like working with each other. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. I can't remember who the director was.
Do they work well together?
Oh yeah. No, they're fantastic.
Because that's great. Because like there's plenty of great duos who just don't have that chemistry.
Yeah, well, I think they have the chemistry that they need to have, which is antagonistic.
That's good.
Yeah, so you totally buy that.
We lost Philip way too early.
Oh, 100%. We lost a lot of them way too early. Yeah, but Philip was...
He was in Happiness. I still haven't watched that. I don't know if I will.
Oh, gosh, I watched that. I can't recommend that movie.
How was he in it?
He was fine. Everybody was fine in it, but it's such a weird... Well, I mean, speaking of the subject of the movie today, there's a character who it's no doubt is guilty of that and does that. And they kind of show him in a sympathetic light.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, and that's kind of hard to watch. The way they...
Yeah.
And maybe it's not even sympathetic. Maybe they just humanize the character.
Like a...
But it's still...
Lolita kind of thing? Where they're showing it from his perspective? Or just straight up sympathetic?
No, because it's from the movie is from a lot of different people's perspectives. It was not a movie. When I realized that was going on, I don't think I gave the movie my entire attention. After that, like, I kind of lost a little bit, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I need to.
Maybe, but I mean, if you're gonna I'm fine with pushing boundaries, but if you're gonna make a character like that sympathetic, I can't hang around for that.
So that's the thing. If you ever make a movie, don't make a pedo sympathetic, and don't kill an animal on screen. Like, really kill an animal on screen. Just, whatever. I mean, hey, like, they killed a lot of animals in Drag Me to Hell. It's fine. Because no real animals were hurt.
I remember I was a kid, my parents and I were watching Deep Blue Sea, and there's a scene where the LL Cool J has a parrot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And the parrot gets seemingly eaten by the shark, but then it survived the end. I was like 10 years old. I was so happy. I was like ecstatic when that parrot came out.
I hated that bird. That made me so mad that the bird... I like that.
To me, it was like the animal's alive. It's a good movie. I don't remember much about that movie besides Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, really? Oh, I remember so much.
It's been a while.
I remember so much. I've watched that movie way too many times.
I don't know that I've watched it since I was like a teenager.
Considering that maybe that was the second time I watched Apocalypse Now this past week.
Really?
And I've probably seen Deep Blue Sea like about 50 times. 15? Not 50.
I love Apocalypse Now.
I really did enjoy it. I liked it. Like, I'd watched it as a teenager and it didn't really click with me. And I think watching it now, like...
This was the original, not the one with Charlie.
There's only one, isn't there?
There's a remake. And I think it's similar to the Psycho thing. Not quite as much. Because the main actor in the original is...
Martin Sheen.
Right. I'm 90% certain Charlie Sheen does a remake.
I thought he was in Platoon. Isn't that what he's did?
Well, that too. But I'm talking about...
Oh.
I might be wrong.
I hate it already, and it's only been a few hours. I'm so tired. We get up at 5.
At first, I thought they'd handed me the wrong dossier. I couldn't believe they wanted this man dead. 3rd generation West Point, top of his class, Korea, airborne, about 1,000 decorations, etc., etc.
I loved you in Wall Street.
Well, there's so many cuts. There's so many cuts and edits of Apocalypse Now. It's kind of like Blade Runner. Did they do a version of it that maybe they filmed additional footage?
Maybe.
And used Charlie Sheen in it?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay. I don't know. I watched the original theatrical cut. That's what I have. So
it's excellent.
Yeah.
That's all I know. It's excellent.
No, it is. It's a great movie. It's yeah. I'm not going to say it's his finest, obviously.
The most realistic war film I've ever seen.
Really?
I would not know.
Okay.
It could be. That's the kind of thing that happens that we're never going to know about. It very well could be realistic.
I still think Tropic Thunder is the most realistic. That's just my opinion.
Maybe for the time it came out. The fact that Robert Downey Jr. still has a successful career is just incredible.
Well, I think everybody gets the joke. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. In theory, at least.
In theory, it doesn't. No, I'm sure there's some YouTube people that think that if you like that movie that you're a neo-Nazi or whatever.
I think they think if you enjoy Iron Man or anything Marvel, you are because of that.
Really? You think they think that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, like I'm going to judge people who like our friend at Comic Book Cinema, Jonathan. I'm calling you out to see if you even watch this far into this episode. You know, like people who do nothing but watch comic book movies. Like I'm going to give you a hard time, but I mean, if you enjoy them and that's what you watch, like, I mean, that's fine.
Did you see John Mulaney making fun of Marvel recently?
I don't think I did.
I forget the actress's name, but she won an award for a Marvel movie, and he said winning an Oscar for a Marvel movie is like winning a Pulitzer Prize for your comments on Reddit.
That was what's her name? The woman that played Tina Turner. She won for the last Black Panther movie.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah, I mean, she's a fine actress, and she did a fine job
in that
totally.
Movie. She did great. I just thought it was fun.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that's not that elevated material.
I mean, the deeper part of his joke is right is that her acting was so good that despite it being a Marvel movie, it stood out.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about both of the Black Panther movies. I'm not a huge fan of either one, but the acting both of those movies are fantastic.
They are.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first one for what it was.
No, I mean it was fine, and I mean Killmonger was a fantastic villain.
He was.
I mean played wonderfully. My biggest problem with that film though is I don't feel like they really gave the villain enough time to actually talk.
Yeah.
Like I wanted less action and more discussion. I wanted more philosophy and more expounding on his beliefs and everything. I wanted more of that. And
well, what's funny is so many people, you know, harp on Disney and Marvel being like, you know, super woke and super this and that. And like, you think they're woke because they made a Black Panther movie, which by the way is a real character. Just that's a real thing. If they were really woke, they would have given Killmonger a long like scenes and dialogue where he really harps on oppression. He really harps on everything that's been taken and how they're not helping other communities and all. They would have gone on and on with that. They didn't. They're like, oh, he's crazy, kill him.
No, you don't understand the woke argument. You know what was woke?
What was woke?
In Eternals, 2 guys kissed.
That's pretty woke.
That's woke.
That's woke. That's
so.
That's insomnia. That's that woke.
In the second Black Panther movie, they made a character who technically, I guess, his heritage would be considered Irish or Scottish, Mexican, Namor.
They made Namor Mexican.
Yeah. And it makes sense in the movie, in the universe, how they build it. It's actually kind of a cool backstory, and I like it. But yeah, in the comics, his last name is McKenzie. Namor McKenzie is because his dad is Irish. He's like Aquaman. His dad is on the land, and his mom's from the ocean.
See, I'm not gonna get furious or stuff like that, but I do think it's pretty stupid when you just change that for no reason other than just to do so.
No, it's silly to change it just to get a checkbox checked and say, look at us, we're doing.
Right. Because then it's very clear that's what you're doing.
Right. It's that is pandering, right? It's not being woke. It's not being, hey, look at how enlightened we are. It's hey guys, we're doing the thing.
Well, and that's the typical.
Give us a good hashtag on Twitter, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's the typical corporate crap.
Right.
They don't do anything that would actually, like, they talk about wanting to help these, like, anyone who's marginalized or whatever. They're not actually doing anything to help. They just want to, like, look on TV. That's it.
Yeah.
They will help you as long as it gives them more money.
Right.
That's it.
And that's why I say I don't think it really cares. Or it really matters. Like, if they want to change the race or even the gender of a character from the comic books.
Well, and I think
it doesn't matter.
I think it's dumb, but I'm not going to get...
Right.
It's not going to ruin my day.
Right.
It is what it is.
Because you know what? I still got that comic book I can go read. So
right.
It's fine.
Well, and then, there's...
Now, if they reprint that comic book and change the character in that comic book, I might get a little annoyed. But it's fine.
Well, and there's also so many ways to do it. Like, you don't need to make Peter Parker black. You have Miles Morales.
Right.
There's so many variations, and and Miles is awesome. Everyone loves Miles.
Yeah.
Except for racists.
Yeah, and then you have Riri Williams, who nobody actually likes.
That's
sad. Tony Stark. Oh no, well.
That's sad.
Oh well, but we still have Miles.
Yeah. Speaking of Tony,
I'm not racist. I like a black comic book character. That's going to be the new thing.
That's your new version. I'm not racist. My president's black. Did you vote for him? Don't ask questions. I didn't vote against him. Couldn't find the poll booth.
Technically, I didn't vote against him because I voted third party both times. So I don't know that I've ever voted.
Depending on who you ask, that is voting against him.
Yeah.
What's funny is I remember, I forget where it was. I think it was Twitter. This is back when it was Trump and Hillary. They were running. And I commented on someone else's post. They made a comment about we all need to get together to support Hillary or something like that. And my comment was essentially something to the effect of she's told me why I shouldn't vote for Trump. She hasn't given me a good reason to vote for her, yada yada. And with it, and on that, two different people both said that if I don't vote for Trump or Hillary, I'm voting for Hillary or Trump.
Right.
Both of them said that. I'm like, y'all realize that if either of y'all are right, the other one's right, and thus y'all cancel out.
No, and it shocks me how many people don't take into account, one, the state you live in.
Yes.
And
it doesn't matter here.
And two, the electoral college.
Right.
It does not matter in South Carolina who I vote for.
No, not
my vote. It does not matter. And
I could be the biggest Biden supporter ever. Won't make a difference. No. It will not help.
And that's why every single time I voted for third party. Because for third party, if they get a certain general population, they get so much money the next time for their election cycle. So I just throw my vote away. I am not a libertarian. I was when I was younger and stupid.
We all were.
I am not a libertarian by any stretch of the imagination. But hey, I know my vote can actually count if I vote for them, and maybe we can get more voices in the democratic process, and that's all I want.
And maybe a third party
and if they actually gain traction, my vote is going straight to the Green Party from then on out.
Yeah,
and it will be constantly Green Party. We need as many voices, as many different voices up in there.
I think there's like a constitutional party. It's like yellow.
Yeah, I don't know that I would ever give my voice to the Constitution.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just trying to think of like the fifth option.
Because that's no. I mean, there's, you know what though, Constitutional Party, fine. Because there's also Communist Party. Okay,
yeah,
fine. I don't agree. I definitely don't agree with either of those parties. Like, I can find common footing with the Green Party, and I can find common footing with the Libertarian, because there are certain things that I do agree with them. I don't know that the Constitutional and the Communist, I have much ground with those guys. But,
I mean, I agree as far as people in power want to stay there and keep their money, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's all.
Das Kapital.
Okay, so the final question, we've meandered quite a bit on this one.
How do you go from The Hunt to Karl Marx?
It is kind of an interesting political movie in certain regards. Like, it does ask some political questions, I think. Yeah. Like how do we as a society handle these scenarios? Mm-hmm. Can we handle them better?
How do we handle people who are accused?
Right.
In general. Not even of that crime, but anything.
Like we say we believe in, and I don't know if this is even a Danish thing or not, but we say we believe in guilty until proven innocent.
We don't.
Or we say innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, we don't believe that.
But obviously we don't practice that. And I think it's really asking those questions and expecting, because I don't know about you, but I mean, like, if you hear someone's a pedophile, you're like, oh, gross, cut off their dick. You know, like, that is a very a visceral gut reaction that I understand that we have.
Yeah, there's few things that, in general, you can just expect to get the same reaction.
Yeah.
And because it is disgusting, it is vile, it is one of the worst things we as people can imagine someone could do.
Yeah. So,
it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Look at our halos. We think it's disgusting.
We're good.
We're good.
That's us. That's us pandering.
that's our checkbox.
We're pandering to the Q community. Yeah, no, sexual abuse of children is bad.
I mean, I don't want the Q community to hate us because they are pretty freaking dangerous.
There's a lot of them. Yeah,
I would like them to think I'm not a threat.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting in their views.
Well, they should like that I served. That's good, right? Q likes that, right?
Do they?
They don't hate it.
True. I guess not. I don't know.
I assume. I don't know.
I don't know.
They like Donald Trump. That's about it. And I'm not even sure if they like him anymore. Maybe they don't. I haven't paid attention. They kind of fell off after like the second year of Biden's term.
No, I think they're gonna. He hasn't lost any ground. If you've been watching.
Who? Trump?
Trump's not lost any ground.
Maybe I'm not watching. Maybe I'm trying to avoid it at all costs.
Sadly, that's the best thing to do, because the rest of the year is about to be a shit show, regardless of your political leanings.
This is the year where SNL just goes hardcore political, which is sad because have you seen the two guys who do the news on SNL?
Yeah, I do like their stuff. I like where they like write jokes and force the other one to.
So good.
That's like the only thing about SNL right now.
Yeah, I don't watch it otherwise, but that is great. They do. Yeah. That's such a good bit. It is so, and they go so heavy that it's like, I don't know if we can call them like far left or anything, like conservative. Sorry, did you hear the stuff they were just saying? When he is it Collin? Mm-hmm. The white guy, when Michael had him making those jokes next to that, she was like a activist. She marched with Martin Luther King.
Oh, where he called his wife's Black Widow movie the best Black Widow since Coretta Scott King. I was like, wow.
That's how he's like, the woman marched with Martin Luther King. He just kept doing that. That was a great bit. That was classic. What's the other question? Oh yeah, politics.
Yeah, politics.
Yeah, no, there's stuff that can be said. I think that's somewhat subtle, but there's stuff that can be said.
Yeah. So I think it's a good movie. I think we both highly recommend it.
Yes.
I think you should try to watch it, like I said earlier, on a service that doesn't have any ads.
You could rent it on Vudu. Would that be ad free?
Yeah, if you rented it, it would be, but you can watch it for free on there with ads. You can.
If you don't, but if you don't,
I mean, but it's only $9 or $10 to buy. I might actually look into buying that one.
If you want to experience it uninterrupted, which I think is important, that was how I experienced it the first time.
Yeah, it's not a comedy movie or some cheapo horror movie. Like I watch a lot of movies with ads and it doesn't bother me, but this one really did, because you
don't want the tension.
This is engrossing.
Yeah,
like it really wraps you up. So yeah. But I think we recommend it, and lucky for y'all, next time we are taking a 180 in terms of movies, and we are going to be doing Singing in the Rain. So not this type of movie next time.
So many less dead animals. 100% less, I hope.
You'd be surprised how many animals Gene Kelly steps on while he's tap dancing.
I mean, actually did.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Just the rugged dead animals and he tap dances on them.
The animals did not suffer. He stomped very hard.
Yeah. So that's a favorite of mine. So we will be watching it next time. Andrew's never watched that, so
first time for me. I'm excited though.
Yeah, and I think I want to say this too. I think the movie we just watched is the entire reason why I'm glad what we're doing.
It's kind of a palate cleanser.
Well, no, I'm talking about The Hunt.
Oh.
Like that was a movie I'd wanted to watch, but I'd never gotten around to it. And then
now you have a reason.
And then last year we watched You Were Never Really There.
Yes.
These are movies that they were on my list to watch, and you're kind of forcing me to watch them, and I'm really enjoying like the back and forth of us kind of making each other watch. I know you have like this Square.
Yes.
And that was one that after I watched Triangle Sadness, I'm like, oh, I need to go back and watch more of this guy's stuff. And I saw you put that on there, so we're watching The Square in the future, and I'm very interested about that. So,
have you?
So even though we get like 0 views, I'm fine with that because we're forcing each other to watch movies that are actually interesting. And
I wouldn't have watched
In the Mouth of Madness.
I would not have watched that. and even though it wasn't my favorite, I am glad that I watched it. It was good to watch.
I hope you like Sorcerer. I think you dug that.
I love Sorcerer.
Yeah,
Sorcerer's great. Yeah, no, I'm glad I watched it. Well, and Sorcerer's is one that I would just completely look past too.
Right.
But no, I really enjoy Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorcerer's one that I'm gonna go back and watch again. That's a great movie.
It is. So go back and watch that episode. Go back and watch our You Were Never Really There. I think our conversation because we had very different views on that movie, In the Mouth of Madness. Yeah. I think that was a great discussion also. Mm-hmm. But we've had a lot. Same with Censor.
Yes.
I don't think that was a movie you would have ever watched. I don't think it was one you particularly loved, but
I didn't love it, but it's another one that I am glad that I watched it. There was a lot there. Like it got me thinking and got me trying to understand the movie.
Also, Ayn Ramsay has Lynne Ramsay, has a new movie or television show coming out this year.
Nice.
I need to send you the preview for that. Oh, it's
Ayn Ramsay.
Yeah.
You think about
No, I was thinking. No, Ayn Ramsay was an actress in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
She was. Remember you watched Goonies, right?
Yeah.
The woman, the mom that led the criminals. Mm-hmm. That's Ayn Ramsay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were going back to libertarians about Ayn Rand.
No, Ayn Rand. No.
Next
month we're going to be watching all 3 parts of Atlas Shrugged, the movies.
I downloaded it once. I have yet to read it, listen to it, anything, but I downloaded it once just to see how many hours it would be as a audiobook. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 63, 64 hours. It's so long. It's really. Have you seen the book?
No, I don't think I've ever seen a physical copy of the book.
Big.
Wow.
It's a big book.
Okay.
And it takes her that long to say that poor people suck and rich people are great.
Well, she's not wrong, but
we don't all suck.
Yeah, as a poor person, we do kind of suck. I get it. Yeah.
We enjoy life. Well, we try to, and then we remember we're poor, and then we get sad. But
No. So that was it. We'll see y'all next time for Singing in the Rain.
Bye, guys.
You little shits! Sunburn! Vermin! I'll teach you. I'm calling the police! Damn kids.